So here we go. They're 6th and 7th on the ladder. After being the 2 champion teams last year, this time they're struggling. Harding is back in the lineup for the West Coast Eagles. McIntosh takes it away for the visitors. Gets a high kick down towards the right half-forward flank. The ground in pretty good nick. Gowes. Sweeping hand pass. Langford took it on standing still. Now gets going. Back to Gowes. McIntosh sees him over the line. Doing the ruck work with McIntosh. Ladder. Kemp almost taken too high. But it's Gary Ayres who clears a path for Morrison. Flicks it up towards centre wing. Mainwaring got a touch to it and was held, said umpire Dennis Rich. Chris Mainwaring to take it from centre wing.
And Mainwaring, who's been a very good player for the Eagles since coming into this AFL competition, slips as he kicks. The ball goes near the 50-metre line, punched away. Langdon dives on top of it, holds his head underneath that crunch of players, and the umpire will ball it up.
And Dwayne Lamb's been given the job of tagging Johnny Platten on his 150th game.
Langdon jumps high. Mew got the tap out. Still the ball to be won. Tap on by Lewis. Morrissey's a chance on the 50-metre line. Sneaky little handball to Allen. High in the air, doesn't cover much territory at all. Now Platten runs onto it. Great player, Johnny Platten. He kicks to centre wing. Marking contest down here. No one can control the football. It's punched away by Hines. Mainwaring's caught. Could be penalised. No, he's not. Bundled over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in right on the players' interchange area. And for Hawthorn, the interchange players are Anderson and Merton. And for the West Coast, it looked as though it may have been as selected. Clappe and Hart. Allen kicks the ball up towards the edge of the square. Free kick has been picked out of it. It's going to the Eagles. It'll be taken back there by Waterman.
Waterman will have to go back. He's still on the defensive side of centre. No score on the board as yet in this game. Jenke has the job on Langdon. McIntosh the meat in the sandwich. Ben Allen takes the hand pass away. They should get out of trouble here. Off to Collins. Now Jarman. What can he set up? His handball bounces, but it's okay for Condon. To the 50-metre line. Pritchard is inside 50. He wants Dunstan. He's not there. He's right behind him on the mark. And a good one too. Taken by Dominic Berry.
This guy has served a fairly long apprenticeship in the reserves, Sandy, and I've been fairly impressed with him. Wondered why he didn't get promotion a little earlier.
Distance certainly won't be a problem. It's on a bit of an angle. Well, it's his first game. Is he going to go down in the record books with a goal from his first kick in senior football? No, he's not. One behind to Dominic Berry, a young man from Xavier College, and one behind to Hawthorn.
Well, Hawthorn always tend to let their players do a long apprenticeship in the seconds, and it's no different than with Dominic Berry spending a couple of seasons in the reserves.
Looks as though he should be over at Hollywood, appearing in some of those top-class movies. Fine cut of a young bloke as Dominic Berry. Mainwaring marks the kick in and kicks it up towards centre wing. The ball is now with Lewis, and as Gerard has already told us, the wings are very slippery and the players are finding it difficult to hold their footing. And there's a player down behind. It looks like Chris Mew, the training staff out very, very quickly. May have got a kick in the back, I think. Now Platten, very close to the boundary line. It's forced over. And Chris Mew still in trouble. We'll have a look at what happened. Ooh, well, we won't comment much on that one as Taylor takes the mark at half forward. He plays on quickly, kicks it in the direction of Dunstall. He was up high, couldn't quite take the mark. Chance for Laidley, playing his 50th game for the Eagles. Mainwaring away to Kemp. The Eagles will get out of trouble. Kemp has good vision. Gets it away to White. White's kick. Up towards half forward. Hawks have got the numbers here. The bounce is awkward for Morrissey. In comes Lewis, a little kick off the ground. Beckett goes to McIntosh. His handball to the captain, Worsfold. His kick into the forward pocket. Sumich at the back. It's knocked away by Langford, over for a boundary throw-in.
That was great play by James Morrissey a moment ago. Seeing Chris Mew down the ground, he went back to centre half back on McIntosh, and he covered that area for them.
Let's go down to the boundary line. Jared, what's the story with Chris Mew?
Yes, well, unfortunately, he has got a bit of a problem with his back. Whether he comes onto the field is yet to be found out, because they're not saying much down on the Hawthorn bench.
Harding's kick goes over the line for the Eagles in the left forward pocket. That's bad news for the Hawks if he does have a problem. Very early days in this match. Just the one behind on the ball. Kicked by Berry of Hawthorn. Langdon again at the bottom of the pack with Turley. Right at the bottom is the Rat. Jenke comes over the top. Wilson may run out of room. Still in the Eagles attacking zone. Throw in once more. Kick from McIntosh was high. Mark's not going to be paid. An attempted soccer off the ground by Ayres. In there battling is Anthony Condon. He can't get clear. And so another ball up. It's overcast here at Waverley Park. But good for football. McIntosh over the top, trying to hammer it closer to goal. Again, proceedings come to a grinding halt. Evans. The Eagles will be looking for some sharp shooting work from him today down in the forward line. Jenke tries to flick it out the back. Now the Hawks are away into the middle, and they can create the loose man here. Deer over the top to Gowes. It's good football. Gowes wants Dunstall. The kick is too far out for him, and he won't be able to keep it in play.
That was a poor kick by Gowes then. Dunstall had a terrific lead going, and all he had to do was put the ball out in front of him, but he did put the ball out in front of him. It was far too far out in front of him.
Jason Dunstall has kicked 85 goals for the season, and 727 in his career, equaling Peter Hudson's tally. But he has played a few more games than Hutto. Still a great performance, isn't it, Robbo?
My word, great goal kicker for the Hawthorn Footy Club, Jason Dunstall, and well, he leads in his quest for the John Coleman medal at this stage of the season quite comfortably. Here's a chance now for Hawthorn. They're still on their half-forward line. Little kick off the ground. Allen, Dunstall, slips the tackle, gets it to Allen. Allen's shot looks pretty good. No, it just misses to the right-hand side.
That was clever play then by Dunstall, wasn't it? He's caught amongst the players then, and rather than handballing to short into one of the Hawthorn players, he handballed out into space, allowing Allen to run onto the ball, and he almost spun it back for a goal.
Kick goes to the far side where Turley's made good position and marks in front of Pritchard. Craig Turley. His kick, McIntosh can't quite hold the mark. It's going to be paid. Now the advantage is with Main Waring. Bumped as he kicks the ball. Greg Deer underneath it. A big punch. The ball finishes with Lewis. Handball a little too high for Waterman. He gets it back to Laidley. Laidley's quick kick across his body. Gowers has a chance. Slips over. Good pressure by Matera. Free kick has been paid. Langford, hand pass a little awkward for that player. Gowers may make up for it. Langford, Morrissey looks again for Langford. He's just struggling a little bit with his ball handling. Over the top goes McDonald. Anderson is on to replace Mew. In goes Lewis pretty hard. And the free kick is against Chris Lewis. Well, it may not have been paid against Lewis, but certainly a free kick will go to Hawthorn and to be taken by Alex McDonald. Not quite enough steps, but he kicks it effectively up towards the 50-metre line. Chance here for Waterman. He's well caught, well tackled by Taylor. The ball's still at centre-half forward. Now Hines away to Laidley, and Laidley's kick slews off the side of his boot out towards centre wing.
It's Wilson and Ayres battling for it. They lock it up. Lewis and Morrissey clash. Pritchard taps it on for Platten. Back again beautifully to Pritchard. The Hawks go down to the 50-metre line. Mainwaring and Brennan almost clash. The ball goes over the line.
Well, there's no pretty football out there at the moment, and it's a wonderful clash already early in this game, isn't it? There's a lot of heavy work going out in the ground, and players really haven't got time to be fancy with the ball. They've got to get it onto their boot quickly, or they've got to handball quickly.
Good to see Chris Mew up walking around the boundary line. There was some holding on there. It's left. Pritchard does the hassling. Condon tries to get clear. Platten now takes it. Can he get clear? Pulls it into the pocket. Mainwaring is there. Gets it away to Laidley. Close to the boundary line is Hines, and it's hammered out of his hands by Deere defensively over the line. For an update on Chris Mew, Jared.
Well, good news for Hawthorn supporters. Chris Mew is back in business. In fact, he's just run onto the ground.
That is good news. Scott McGuinness going back onto the bench. So Mew back with McIntosh. Deere couldn't quite take a mark. Backing into the pack, Morrissey hugs the boundary line, then just stabs in towards centre wing. Taken by Gow. He plays on. In towards half forward. No mark taken. Allen reads it beautifully. He goes towards Dunstall.
Terrific kick.
So this for goal number 728 in his career. This to draw clear from Hutto, and of course it'll be goal number 86 for the season. Straight through the middle.
So back in the centre with just under 14 minutes left in the first quarter. Hawthorn lead 1-2. The Eagles have yet to score, and the Hawks will take it away again. Morrissey playing well up towards full forward. Berry can't quite take the mark. In comes Lamb. Does it pretty well. Kicks it to a 2-on-1 in favour of the Hawks. It's punched back towards half forward. The handball comes towards Gowers. He's well tackled. Matera, Jarman, all round the neck surely against Darren Jarman, and the free kick to be taken by Turley. Plays on quickly. Short kick. A little too high for Langdon. What's happened here? Interfered with was Turley behind play by Darren Jarman. And a relay free kick will be taken by Hines as Lewis is taken from the ground and is replaced by Clapper. Langdon marks outside 50. He thumps it into the square. May bounce through. Well taken by Evans. Couldn't control it there, and he slides over for a boundary throw.
I think perhaps Lewis has been taken from the ground because the player who picked him up, Morrissey, has run down the field a couple of times unmarked and created play for the Hawthorn team.
Big opportunity for the Eagles in the forward line. Jenke tries to flick it away from goal. Picked up by Condon. Hurried kick to the half-back line. Gowers with lightning hand. Same to Turley to Matera. Not a well-directed kick, however, and Jenke takes the mark. Off to Chris Mew. He seems okay. Towards McDonald. Not paid. Hawthorn fans not happy. There's a chance for McIntosh. He can get round Morrissey. Langford got a hand to it. And the ball finishes over the line in the Eagles' left forward pocket.
Yes, when the ground is heavy like this in areas, it's very difficult for players to get their footing, and they try to get around one player, gets stuck. It's very hard to get that clear kick.
Mew trying to get away from McIntosh. Morrissey out to Platten. Low towards centre wing. Nicely picked up by Harding. Pritchard towards centre wing. Turley and Condon. Attempted flick off the ground by Laidley is not good. It ricochets back to Platten. Down to half forward. Dunstall's come a long way out. Socket further forward. Gowers does it beautifully to Allen. Ben Allen will go into the open goal and put through another one for the Hawks. Ominous start by the reigning champions. 2-2. The Eagles yet to score.
And that bit of play created really by a kick off the ground by Anderson. Kicked it clear. And then the Hawks ran onto the play. But the Hawks are running in numbers all over the field. They're gathering the ball together. They're running to assist and to tackle. and they look very pumped up this week, Hawthorn, as they did last week at the start against Fitzroy.
And I would think that Michael Malthouse and his team of experts in the coach's box would have a few problems. The breeze looks as though it may be favouring the Hawks in this first quarter. They've done pretty well so far. Kemp's kick, centre half forward, Mark Camus, well done. And looks as though it may have been just a nerve that was touched there in that earlier clash on centre wing. And Chris Mew does pretty well there at centre half back. He kicks it 45 metres up towards centre half forward. It's picked off by Anderson. Anderson's kick goes into the forward pocket. Chance here for Berry, but that goes wide. And he goes quickly for the boundary line. And the central umpire gives the okay to the boundary umpire to throw it in.
So I was surprised to see Dean Anderson in the side this week. Last week against Fitzroy, Alan Joyce elected to leave him off on the bench for most of the game. Yet he's stayed in the side. He's actually started this game quite well.
Well, Matera in a little bit of trouble keeping his footing. He's not the only one. He's kicked goes over for another boundary throw, and it's about 15 to 20 metres further away from the previous throw-in, so about a kick and a half from the Hawthorn goal. Boundary throw-in, Taylor, taken by Waterman. He can't control it. Turley, hemmed in, gets the handball over the top to Lamb. He fumbles, but he's able to recover and kicks it into the centre. Looking there for Worsfold. McIntosh, a little slow. Handball to Hines. Langdon, harassing work by Hawthorn, enormous. Allen goes to Darren Jarman. They've got 2-on-1 here, the Hawks. Matera's in trouble. He'll allow it to go over. On the 50-metre line, another boundary throw in. Hawthorn 2-2. The Eagles yet to score.
Matera sensing the danger then and going towards the boundary line for a clever knock over the boundary line.
Very tight opening here at Waverley Park, and it's good to see. Gowers from 47 metres. Not coming back at all, one behind. 2-3. The Eagles yet to score.
You ever feel, Tim, that in a situation like that a player relaxes a little bit? That looked as though it was pretty well a knockdown goal, wasn't it, to Gowers?
Yes, I think that perhaps he did relax a little bit too much in that instance and kicked the ball a little bit wide.
Brennan wanted Harding, who flicked it over the back. Dunstall's in front. Jason Dunstall will shoot for his second, just 35 metres out, almost directly in front.
He's so quick off the mark, Jason Dunstall.
He's already taken a couple of marks. The average is just under 10 per game, and he's kicked another goal.
Just under 9 minutes left. Hawthorn 3-3. West Coast struggling. They've had it past their centre half forward line just a couple of times in this first quarter. They've pretty well struggled for most of the first term. Goal kickers for Hawthorn. Dunstall has kicked 2 and Ben Allen has kicked 1. Deere gets the tap down. Ayres leaves it behind. Kemp, not much space, but he's able to get the handball away to Turley. Turley's kick is pretty good. Langdon marks. The Hawthorn fans not happy with Carl Langdon. His kick inside 50 metres. No mark taken. Opportunity for Sumic. Worsfold. Away to Turley. Turley's kick. Oh, what a great effort by back there Clappe. He still recovers and kicks the goal. Well done. Matthew Clappe playing his, well, what I think is his first game, is it, Sandy? And
yes, it is his first game.
Well, it'll be nearly his first kick too, wouldn't it?
That is his first kick for the day, and he almost took a miraculous mark then in the goal square. And that's a great bit of play there for a fellow fairly big to be able to get back up off the ground so quickly and then spin around onto his left foot like he did. And he showed a lot of class in kicking that goal.
Dominic Berry unable to do it with his first kick that Clappe has for the Eagles. So they're on the board. 21 plays 6. Under 8 minutes remaining. Harding looking for Kemp. He's had a very good year. Pritchard goes back to Kemp. It's a kick down towards half forward. McDonald is first there for the Hawks. Does well, but kicking under pressure The ball lands with Laidley. Towards Langdon and Jenkins. Langdon maintaining front spot. Sumich offers a lead. It's ignored. He decides to go long. Not a pretty kick, but down to full forward. Jarman off to Ayres. To Chris Mew. Again, the Hawk defence combining well as he pushes it out towards McDonald. Laidley over the top. Kemp claimed when perhaps he didn't have the football. It runs over the line. The umpire says throw it in. Dean Kemp averaging just under 17 kicks per game this year. He's had a wonderful season. Plays on quickly to Wilson. Sumich couldn't complete the mark. Clappe again. Jenkins. Now he's got a couple of options here. He picks out Ayres. And the skipper goes towards Gowes on centre wing. Over the back he goes to Pritchard. Darren Pritchard in towards half forward. And a good mark taken by Berry. He plays on, pushed as he took the kick. And that forces the ball over the line on the full.
Just the difference maybe between reserves football and seniors football. He fancied himself to play on when maybe he wasn't clear.
Yeah, perhaps, but I think that the whole Hawthorn team so far in this first quarter have got on with the play as quickly as they possibly can, trying to get the ball down the field as quickly as they can.
Free kick has been picked out of this contest. It's against Mainwaring for not moving the ball on. And Chris Mainwaring not impressed, but quite prepared to accept the opinion of the umpire. The kick goes towards Dunstall. He can't mark. And another boundary throw-in will take place.
Robbo, I think when the Hawthorn players are running like they are, the players up the field start to sense that they should be moving all the time. And I think all the players instinctively just move on the ball as quickly as they possibly can.
Dominic Berry doing the ruck work in the forward pocket. Condon gets the hand pass away, but not before it goes over. And we'll have another throw-in. It's about 65 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. They lead 3-3. The West Coast have kicked the goal. That came from young Matt Clappe, 23 years of age, from East Perth, playing his first game. Underneath all that was Wilson. Now it's fed out. Condon. Oh dear, he could nearly be penalised there, but no, says the umpire. Giving him the benefit of the doubt. May have been Anderson underneath all that. Condon was in the action, but the umpire calls for a ball up about 65 to 70 metres from the Hawthorn goal.
Taylor got up high for Hawthorn. Waterman gets a hurried kick down towards McIntosh, Allen and Turley. Worsfold tries to soccer off the ground. McIntosh loses out to Jarman. The kick is wide towards Wilson on the wing. Morrissey gives chase. Cry of ball goes up from the Hawk supporters. McDonald to Jenkins. To the half-forward line, Hines defends. Over the top he goes. Matera's kick, not good. Jarman is there. Into full forward he goes. Dunstall the first to recover. Is this number 3? He has a look round his shoulder. Shoots to goal. And pulls it back too far. 2 goals, 1 to Jason Dunstall.
Once again, we saw Jason Dunstall's wonderful athleticism to get back onto that ball and snap the goal. But it was a poor kick then by Matera coming down the field. He centred the ball far too early. He should have kept wide to the play. He kicked it back into a nest of Hawks.
Dermot Brereton looking on his Hawk lineup. Taylor nips in front of Hines. The big man does well and eventually sees it over the line.
Jason Taylor would be an important player in the Fitzroy lineup, Sandy, at the moment, wouldn't he? He's slipped the Lions noose and now playing with the Hawks.
Yes, he certainly would be at the moment. Of course, the Hawks lost Robran. They've got it at half forward. Blackmell's at the bottom. They called for push in the back, but it's not to be.
I think if I was Matthew Robran, I know where I'd be, Sandy. Trying to get a game here at Waverley with the Hawks.
Oh, well. It's his decision. McDonald.
Oh, dear.
This is again.
Yes, you wonder in those situations where the players are talking, McDonald really did have the time to settle down and do a deliberate kick. He rushed the whole thing and missed a goal.
Tim Jeff and Michael Malthouse, the Eagles hierarchy, looking somewhat concerned as Brennan ponders where to come back into play. This could be dangerous. Hines is going to have to make a lot of ground and he can't get there. Gowes. Wide, Tim.
Gowes is about 6'4". They're not really using a lot of sense, are they? Kicking it in his direction?
No, it was a poor kick out then. Gowes is, well, he's 6'3", Gowes, very tall for a wingman. And that was kicked to his best advantage then.
Well, his kick was not a good one. That's out of bounds on the full. So, under 3 minutes remaining. So far, the term has belonged to Hawthorn.
So it's White in the back pocket. Kicks it back outside 50 metres. Dia, what a good mark. Has it been paid? No. Had his hands on it, just slipped out of his grasp. And the umpire is forced to ball it up. 3-5 the Hawks. 1 goal straight the Eagles with just over 2 minutes left. 4 players there striving for possession. But umpire Dennis Rich will come in and ball it up. Very important game. We've mentioned in the lead-up how important it is to both sides. The Eagles are in the final 6 at the moment, only on match ratio, and the Hawks, if they win, will take their place. Here's Platten. Oh, he dragged to the ground. Too high. Advantage is paid. Greg Deere. Allen may kick his second. No, he just misses to the left-hand side.
This game could almost have been over, but the States couldn't have had the Hawks kick straight. They've had the opportunities down there. They really are dominating the ground in all aspects at this stage.
Yes, so Hawthorn 46 kicks to 40, 31 hand passes to 26, 13 marks to 7. Eagles get the ball out near the wing. Through comes Collins with determination. Condon. Dunstall. Unstoppable, the spearhead.
It was a beautiful pass then by Condon into the space, and the Hawthorn kicking, their field kicking, is just first class and perhaps a standard higher than any other league team.
Well, Dunstall will kick from 40 metres out directly in front. He doesn't generally miss these, and he doesn't miss that one.
Very important goal for Hawthorn with well under a minute remaining. Platten tries to soccer off the ground. Lamb gets a short kick. Very short. Tries again. Out to the wing. Jenke leads in the race. Clever tap on. It was designed for Platten. Wilson. Back to Turley. Is there going to be time for them to score? I don't think so, as Platten has taken over the line with the football. McIntosh and Mew will contest the throw-in. McIntosh with a right fist. Clapper knocks it further forward, but there's the siren. It's quarter time here at Waverley Park, and a good start by Hawthorn. They lead 4-6-30. The West Coast, 1 straight goal, 6 behind. Let's see what the Eagles can do. They may be going with a slight breeze in this turn. Deere beaten by Harding, down to Langdon. The Choir comes fourth once more. He bounces it down towards full forward. Past Sumich it goes. Langford can tidy up on the last line of defence, or can he?
It should be deliberate.
That was extraordinary.
Well, why isn't he penalised for that, Tim? You can't do that and get away with it, sure.
He's done it. Let's see what happens from the throw-in. Ayres and Jenke both fly from it and conceded behind.
That was farcical, that wasn't it?
It was different.
It would have been classical if they had got away with the hand pass to Collins and then taken it away from the back line.
So Langford brings it back into play. Well, that's not a good kick either. It's going to be just kept in play, however. Matera through. Could have been held. He shovels it further forward. Advantage paid. Turley running the boundary line, runs into Andrew Collins.
The Eagles just looking a little bit tentative, aren't they?
Turley's kick in towards full forward. They definitely need the first score. Or Evans had the chance. A dive by Chris Langford. Again, concedes a behind.
I really think it's a little bit too early to bag them. I mean, they trail miserably on the scoreboard, but I'm sure that breeze is giving the advantage down to that left-hand end. Langford kicks it in for Hawthorn. Nearly to the 50-metre line. It's punched back inside that area. Langdon, Turley, he spotted someone. The kick in short. Sumich handles it all right. Hooks the kick. Pretty good. Sumich, what a wonderful kick for goal. Peter Sumich kicks his first goal for the day. The Eagles get their second. And 4-6 to 2-2 puts a little bit more respectability on that scoreboard.
That was an incredible kick there by Peter Sumich. Craig Tilley, who's had a couple of touches already in this second quarter, getting the ball down to him. And Peter Sumich, I think that's his first touch for the game, being able to spin on his left foot. But they really do need to answer back with another couple of goals quickly, the West Coast Eagles.
Bounce back in the centre. Deere gets it effectively. Jarman handles it beautifully and kicks it towards centre half forward. No mark taken. The ball at the back where Waterman tidies up for the Eagles. Tries to get back onto his favoured left side. Hand pass all right, but puts Harding under a bit of pressure. Darren Jarman, the tackler, and he's being rewarded because Harding made no effort whatsoever to move the ball on.
Jarman does very quickly. Dunstall caught at the back. Brennan through, gets the hand pass away. And the Eagles out of trouble. Worsfold. Across half back. Goes over centre wing to the running Matera, who got a bit of a nudge. The umpire spotted it, and Peter Matera will take the kick on centre wing. Usually averages just over 16 kicks a game. Finds Langdon. Poor kick by Carl Langdon. Sumich can't take it. Langford behind him soffers it over the line. Eagles into attack. McIntosh doing the ruck work. He plays 14, so there's only 16 points the margin. Even though Hawthorn dominated with the number of scoring shots in the first quarter, the Eagles by no means out of this. Matera's kick is only short. Jarman tries to sock off the ground. Langdon goes in and gets caught. The ball is held to him and a bounce will take place.
The Eagles still look tentative, and the Hawks are running in numbers and their tackling is ferocious.
Kemp gets a hurried kick towards Langdon again. Again, the ball is held to him. Worsfold to Kemp, standing still, claimed by Morrison. Jarman a high kick. Hawks have the numbers. Hines did very well for a big man. He had to take on three of them. Taylor's caught. Platten off the ground. Down towards Gowers. Harding over the top of him. Mainwaring claim. Platten close to the line and over. So another throw-in.
Well, the tackles at this stage are 15-7, and that doesn't surprise me one bit. The Hawthorn players have been running, tackling and harassing the Eagles' opponents, who really are starting to have a look every time they go for the ball.
Laidley lost it, then belatedly asks the question.
The play is at right half forward for the Eagles. They trail 2-2 to 4-6. Goal kickers for the Eagles have been Sumich and Matthew Clappe. Attempted kick off the ground by Laidley. It's still near the 50-metre line. Worsfold, now Mainwaring. Some space, and he thumps it back past the centre of the ground. Punched away from Langdon by Jinky. Jinky leaves it behind. Greg Deere away to Pritchard. Pritchard's little kick. High. Taylor. Little awkward for the big fellow. Hines is there, but Taylor does pretty well. Matera comes in, and it is trundled over for a boundary throw-in. just forward of centre wing in the Eagles attacking half. Harding gets the tap down. Deer. Away he goes to Anderson. He's well tackled. And attempted kick off the ground there came from Paul Harding. Matera and Pritchard having a little to do, but the free kick is going back to Peter Matera on centre wing. Gerard Healy mentioned before the game started that both wings were quite heavy, and that's where players are having a lot of difficulty at the moment kicking the ball from. Wilson looking to play on. It may have been called. Gowers is the man on the mark. Wilson's kick goes up towards the 50-metre line. It goes through Sumich and Langford. Langford goes back to Jenke. Jenke has plenty of time to sum it up, and he kicks it back towards half-back. Oh, the high flyer. Couldn't quite take the mark, was Pritchard. In comes Evans. Evans kicks it up to the front of the goals. Oh, Langford, the sun got in his eyes. Still gets his foot to the ball. Sumich has a chance, gathers it, falls over at a critical stage. Push, says the umpire. The Hawthorn fans are irate at that decision, but the free kick will go to the Eagles to be taken by their champion full forward, Peter Sumich.
Once again, if you look at that picture, there's one Eagles player and 4 Hawks around the ball.
It's obviously Darren Jarman there, Tim, to jump in after he'd fallen over.
Yes, it was a little bit crude, but Sumich will line up for a goal. But I really think that the Eagles have to be a lot more prepared to run to get to the fall of the ball.
Well, Sumich, if he kicks the goal, will make the difference just 10 points. He's only 20 metres out, directly in front. He hooks the kick. And Tommy's missed. No, he hasn't. It's a goal.
Minutes remaining in the first half. Deer and Harding go at it again. It's Kemp who gets it out of the centre for the Eagles. Down towards Chris Mainwaring and Ayres. Out the back is Evans. Caught, but gets it away to Mainwaring. He surges it forward another 5 or 6 metres, but Mew tidies up. After copping a heavy one early in the game, he has recovered. Turley couldn't take it, neither McDonald. Going down like 9 pins. Laidley. Back towards centre wing. Mainwaring over the top of Ayres. Wilson sees it over the line with James Morrison.
Well, the Eagles have made a move. Waterman's gone up onto the wing on Gowers, and Mainwaring's gone back to a half-forward flank, and he's been picked up by Gary Ayres.
2 goals to Peter Sumich in this quarter. Allen. To Collins. He was besieged. Wilson asks the question with Evans.
Optimistically?
Very optimistically. Mew forced to do the ruck work. Condon's kick is only short distance, but it's favourable. Down towards centre wing. Waterman drops it, but he's got time to recover. Back towards Turley territory. Morrissey in front of him. Wilson over the line. Turley close to it. Out the back he goes. Evans gets crunched. Wilson comes away. Danger here for Hawthorn. Sumich and Langford. And eventually over the line.
It's not pretty really, is it? But
Tight.
you can see that both sides respect each other.
There's a fairly valuable 4 premiership points at stake.
My word,
this afternoon.
yes, it's quite critical.
Hines and Mew. Wilson waits at the back. Kemp over the line. Did he take the ball? Mainwaring, well claimed by Ayres, who did very well. Somehow to find a path to Condon. Almost back to centre wing. Harding paddles it forward. Anderson goes wide. Condon. A high kick towards centre wing. Worsfold stands his ground. They gallop on top of him. Deer in trouble. Back to Anderson. Jarman close to the line, and in fact a little too close. Over.
The football this quarter has been very untidy.
Boundary throw in. Deer from behind. Here's a chance for McDonald. His kick is well smothered. Forced for another boundary throw in. Just forward of the centre wing position in the Eagles attacking half. The weather not too bad here in Melbourne. We've had a fairly brisk week. Not a lot of rain, but perhaps the ground not quite as firm as it was in the latter stages of the game last week in Perth. An inch of rain fell before that match. The ground certainly takes the water very, very well over there, as distinct from here in Melbourne. Free kick to Allen. Allen's kick to centre-half forward, no mark taken. Lamb leaves it behind. Goes in after it again, Dwayne Lamb. Can't get the football out. Now here's a chance for the Eagles through Clappe. His kick goes back to a 2-on-1 in favour of the Hawks. Muse punch away. Mainwaring at the base of the pack. Taps it to the advantage of Kemp. He leaves it behind. Desperate stuff by Allen. Hines over the top. Little kick by Mainwaring to his own advantage. Does it again and does it pretty well, Chris Mainwaring. Morrissey forced to kick quickly. High in the air. Mew can't take the mark. Allen is there for Hawthorn. Diving in after it again was Mainwaring. And the umpire will be forced to ball it up. He's a goer, Chris Mainwaring, isn't he? He always gets a lot of the football in the matches that he plays. He's had 7 kicks and 3 hand passes already. And over there in the wet conditions, the umpire throws it in the air. Platten for the Hawks. In underneath. Kick off the ground by Gowers. Picked up by Laidley. He slips. Quite crucial. Lamb shrugs the tackle. Nearly gets through. No. Taken away by Condon. Hawks, irrepressible. Condon's kick. Little awkward. Taylor. McIntosh. It's kicked over. Maybe on the full, was it? No. Boundary throw-in will take place at left half forward for Hawthorn.
And Robert, that's a classic example of these wet conditions evening it up. The guy chasing the fellow with the ball sometimes has more opportunity now in these wet conditions than normal.
Turley lost it. So too did Waterman. Worsfold runs into Jarman. Platten. Scrag high. Ayres. To the half-forward line. White chases. McDonald. A hurried snap. Hawthorn inside 50. Gowers. Dunstall a chance. Will he sock it? No, he'll pick it up. Pull it round his body and bang, kick another one. The ice to be broken. The margin again, 16 points. Deere and Harding go at it in the centre. Worsfold gets crunched. Langdon in over the top. McDonald maybe at the bottom there somewhere.
As McDonald came on last week and played a very good game against Fitzroy.
Harding flicks over the back. Jarman hammers it the other way, but only to the advantage of Dean Laidley. High kick up to the half-forward line. Hines in front. May have gone a fraction early. Chris Mainwaring, an opportunity here inside 50. Heads for home with a long kick, but is off target. And through for one behind. 3-3. Plays 5-6.
Chris Langford having a pretty good look. The players assembling at centre-half back. Now they make the break out towards the far half-back flank area. Ayres can't take it. Harding kicks it back inside 50. Nearly gathered by Langdon, but taken away by Jenke. His kick goes wide to the wing. Gowers and Waterman close to the line. The players just get their seconds after dribbles over for a boundary throw-in. Well, it's a free kick.
Yeah.
What for?
Against Waterman, who
it was already over the boundary line.
Kicked the ball away.
Oh, I see. Yes, fair enough. That was discussed during the week about whether that infringement had gone out of the rule book. Anderson tackled too high by Turley, and that's the way the umpire sees it. The free kick will go to the Hawthorn ruck rover, Dean Anderson. Awkward spot on the ground there, but he kicks it quite nicely, about 45 metres into the pocket. Punched away by Brennan from Dunstall. It's hurried over in that left forward pocket for the Hawks, about 30 metres around from their goal. The small scoreboard in the background shows that the Hawks lead by 15 points, 36-21. And of those 5 goals for Hawthorn, Jason Dunstall has kicked 4. The ball at the back, kick off the ground by McDonald. Dunstall's got it again. Can he shrug the tackle? Brennan the tackler. He gets the hand pass away. Matera's there for the Eagles, and they get clear. A torpedo punt kick by Matera's a beauty. About 60 metres out to the wing. Morrissey can't control the football, and it goes over in front of Peter Wilson for a boundary throw-in just near the players' interchange area. 5-6 to 3-3, the Hawks lead.
Jostling for front spot. Goes with a roundhouse left that misses. His opponent Deere at the bottom of the pack. Kemp, now Jarman. hurriedly boot to ball, but it's slewing away and goes out on the full as the Eagles make a change. With David Hart taking the ball and just coming onto the ground.
That was an interesting bit of play then, wasn't it? Hart was waiting down by the sidelines to come onto the ground. The ball went over, bounced on the full, and he said, "Thanks very much, I'll have that kick."
A mini sting attempt, perhaps. Wilson. High towards the 50-metre line. Hammered over the boundary line for another throw-in. Scoring is difficult. Getting a kick isn't easy either, as Hines just discovers. Evans shovels it out the back. Wilson's chip goes straight to Ben Allen. Deer, well done. Away he goes. He's got the runners. Jarman, usually pinpoint accuracy. Oh, almost claiming a one-hander was White. Couldn't pull it in. Dunstall trying to get out the back door. He can't go anywhere. Now Turley. They're giving ground. Brennan. The cry of ball is almost continuous.
The forwards there. Weren't they fantastic?
That was fantastic. When they got the ball up near the centre of the line, all the Hawthorn players just ran forward to make numbers at the next contest.
It's only 30 metres out from their goal. Waterman couldn't take it. Worsfold, a hurried kick. Blackton leading in the race. Runs into trouble. Does get rid of the football, but straight to Kemp. His kick back towards centre wing. Jarman leading Turley. It's a slippery ball. Jarman gets round. Anderson holds his head. He's got a shove, but he'll get the free kick. Dean Anderson is forward of centre wing. Just over 7.5 minutes remaining. Gow's the fly. Socket off the ground. Which way will it bounce? Yes, it's a goal.
6-6 to 3-3. And White just a little bit stiff that he didn't get a free kick there. Being held onto by Dominic Berry. The Eagles try to get the ball clear. Harding's hand pass. Clappe leaves it behind. Taylor striving hard for his team. Waterman can't get clear. McDonald's handball to Deer. Hawks out of the centre. Up towards full forward. Well done. Top effort by White. Standing in front of 2 or 3 players coming from behind and marking quite convincingly on the full back line. His kick goes wide to McIntosh. Still looks very much underdone, Ashley McIntosh. But he kicks it up towards half forward. Langdon punches it. Platt crumbing it beautifully, Johnny Platt. 150 games of very, very consistent football. There's a good mark taken by Waterman at half back. And hand passes away to Clappe. Clappe's short pass is good. And Mainwaring marks with only about a metre to spare. Platt arriving just a little late. Mainwaring short pass. Not too bad. Into the centre. White skillfully kicks with that left foot and finds Turley wide at half forward. Craig Turley about 2 kicks from goal. He may kick it long. He does. Into the square. Langdon high. Can't mark. In goes Jenke. Langdon's got the football. Can't get away. Runs into plenty of trouble. Matera runs into plenty of trouble, but gets his kick away and bombs it through for a goal to the Eagles. Well done, Peter Matera. A lot of problems there for him, but he eventually found some space and got the West Coast 4th goal. 6-6 to 4-3.
Peter Matera is having a great duel with Darren Pritchard on the wing, slipping down then and kicking a wonderful goal from the pack situation. But the Eagles are still having trouble when they go forward. They're zigzagging all over the ground. They haven't got the focal points to pinpoint the ball to, and they are struggling every time they go forward.
So the ball back with the central umpire Dennis Rich. Greg Deer preparing for the ruck contest. Up goes Harding. Ball comes towards Hart, kicked away by Turley. Up towards the edge of the square. Morrissey's kick off the ground went nowhere. And back in go the players after the footy, but the umpire calls for a bounce.
Five and a half minutes remaining in the first half. Hines gets it down. Waterman gets a hurried kick. Inside 50. Momentarily. Hart. Evans. But it's going to be a free kick. Holding.
Well, it's always difficult to say. Didn't appear to be too much in that.
Peter Sumich kicked 2 at the start of this quarter. He has a chance to close the gap with his third. 20 metres out. I think he stuck that one through. Nothing in this game, just a couple of straight kicks as the Eagles come back. 6-6 plays 5-3. Back in the middle again. Deere beaten for it by Harding. Pushing towards his half-forward line. And the umpire again will come in for another ball up. The Eagles desperate to reverse last year's grand final result. The two big men clash. Deere runs into Harding.
Obvious free kick, isn't it, Tim, that?
Yes, it was definitely a free kick.
And he goes long to the half-forward line. Good mark. He picked out Craig Turley, Chris Mainwaring, and he didn't let him down. He's kicking from just outside 50. With a fairly heavy ball. Bends it back. Into the square he goes. And hammered over for one behind by Andrew Collins.
I always wonder whether or not that's a wasted kick. I prefer to see that kick when it's that far out, perhaps pointed towards the top of the square, so that if it does get knocked, it's not going to go through for a behind. There is some chance that you could have a set play there and have a guy coming down for a crump.
Kick in, comes to the near side half-back flank area, punched away by Harding. Collins is there, hand passes it back towards Pritchard. Anderson there to give him a bit of a hand. Condon, the kick goes high, up towards the wing area. Taylor, at the back, Worsfold. He's got plenty of time to have a good look and kicks it up near centre-half forward, punched away by Langford. Hart at the bottom, still got the football. He's dragged it back in, so he should be penalised, and he is. Well, that's what that rule's all about. And it was pretty straightforward there. Goes wide to McDonald. McDonald, his kick, looks for Taylor. Goes short. Waterman, well tackled. Gets the hand pass away and goes for the boundary line. McIntosh a little slow. Waterman again. Taylor there for Hawthorn. Dominic Berry. Kemp's a chance. Gets his foot to the ball and kicks it wide. It bounces just inside the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in on centre wing on that far side of the ground. The fans out there basking in sunshine here in the middle of June in Melbourne. Very fortunate football supporters out there. 6-6 to 5-4. Deere and Harding. Harding a bit of strength, but lacks that few centimetres. It does very well. David Hart. And Hines hurries the ball over for a boundary throw in about 90, maybe 95 metres from the Eagles' goal as Chris Lewis waits patiently for his next chance on the field. Dragged from the ground in the first quarter. Chris Mew doing the ruck work. Jarman, out the back he goes to Anderson. Anderson's short kick. It's to the advantage there of Deere, but he's bumped off it by Harding. He's able to flip it back to Anderson. In turn to Jarman. Jarman goes to Pritchard. Pritchard and Gowers. It'll break down. Clap A. Kick off the ground. Goes back towards the Hawthorn goal. Ben Allen. White. Still the Eagles under pressure. Harding will get them out of trouble and kicks it back near the centre of the ground. Overrun by Evans. Overrun by Hines. Back goes Mew. He's caught. Should have been penalised. Kick off the ground by Jarman was good. Nearly a mark to Pritchard. Now a chance for Anderson. Beaten for it by Evans. Platt dives on it. And the umpire will ball it up just wide of the centre circle as the Hawks lead on the scoreboard. 6-6 to 5-4. We're a minute and a half away from half-time.
Harding and Deere. Platten a chance. Taken out of it. Collins loses it, but he still goes at it. Kemp, McDonald, now Platten. Only as far as Hart. Came onto the ground midway during the second quarter. And there's a fine mark taken by young Evans. Great mark over Mew. The Eagles would love another one before half-time. Jarman has had a busy quarter. Hines prevents that thrust. And another ball up. Well, they've got just over 40 seconds. And they're 60 metres away from goal. There's only 8 points in it. Hines up high. Jarman again. Deere at the back. Had the height advantage. Tried to shovel it forward. Taken by Clappe. On to Kemp. Claimed by Platten. And shoveled over the line for another throw-in. Chris Mew in receiving a bit of attention. Johnny Platten's had 8 kicks. Darren Jarman's just about into double figures. Ayres, Kemp, now Langdon. Hines. Over the top he goes to Evans. On the siren, he set sail for home, but too late. And at half-time, Hawthorn lead 6-6-42. The West Coast a 5-4-34. And of those 6 goals for Hawthorn, Jason Dunstall has booted 5, taking his tally for the year to 90 in round 14. Quite an extraordinary performance. Carl Langdon has a goal. Dwayne Lamb has a tagging job today. It hasn't always been pretty, but it has been very tight. It's been very tough. And the margin closing all the time. Repeating the half-time score then here at Waverley. Hawthorn is 6-6-42. The West Coast 5-4-34. Battle. Here we go. There's only 8 points in it. Harding and Deere. Deere got a touch to it. Harding tried to get a kick away. He couldn't. Lamb shepherded out. Socket off the ground by Turley. Down towards centre wing. Gowes leads in the race for the ball. Tries to scoop it up, but is pressured over the line for yet another throw.
Well, Mainwaring has started the second half in the forward pocket. It's been picked up by Ben Allen. And Gary Ayres, who was on Mainwaring in the second quarter, is now picking up Peter Wilson on the forward flank.
Lamb and Platten. Platten goes in again. He dives on the football. No way known can he get out. Still virtually on centre wing. Hines taps it towards Jenke, who heads towards the boundary line. Lamb keeps it in play. Mainwaring overruns it, then goes again. That ball went over the line. Crowd roars, but to no avail. Have a look here. Over the line. However, from the throw-in, McGuinness. Condon a chance, but it's Kemp who does well. Off to Waterman. He's still outside 50. He's got to pump it from a standing start. A high kick in towards Sumic. Langford an effective spoiler. Matera waits down. Pulls it round his body well. And marking on the very last line of defence once again is Scott McGuinness.
Well done by McGuinness to keep his eye right on the footy. May not have known how close the goals were or the goal posts. His kick goes wide to Pritchard. Pritchard in turn finds Jarman. Jarman is able to run away. He's got 5 or 6 metres space. Has a good look upfield. Kicks it in towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. McIntosh falls over. David Hart gets the hand pass away to Clappe. Clappe's hand pass goes to no one in particular. Worsfold. A quick kick by Jarman. attempted gather by McIntosh. Jarman overruns it and kept going. Condon goes after the footy, then gets the handball looking for Jarman, but Pritchard is there. His quick kick is marked by Platten, about 2 kicks from the Hawthorn goal. Maybe a little further. Platten's kick. He hooks it in towards centre half forward and getting back, taking a good mark in defence for the Eagles. As Chris Waterman played fairly steadily as Chris Waterman. His kick finds Lamb. Lamb well tackled by Collins, and boy, was that a surprise tackle. Kick off the ground by Gowers. The advantage is with Mainwaring. He runs around and shrugs the tackle from Morrissey. Kicks it wide. Player on his own out there is Matera. He's got a little bit of space. Kicks it in the direction of Turley. Turley pulled off the ball by Darren Jarman. And Turley will take the free kick, and it looked pretty obvious from here, even though the Hawk fans weren't all that happy. Oh, Wilson drops a sitter. Ayres dives on it. Deer dragged off the football by Wilson. Kicked by Lamb. The tackle by Wilson was a little high on Greg Deer, according to the central umpire. Greg Deer, handball away to Allen. Allen's kick. Well done, McDonald. Got rid of Clappe. McDonald from right half forward. Kicks it up to the 50-metre line. Taylor from behind, a little push out on McIntosh. Brennan away to Hart, and the Eagles out of trouble.
Hart's kick finds Mainwaring almost down to centre wing.
Good player, Mainwaring, 12 and 3. Sandy?
Yes. He's done well today. Deer. The big man lumbers off. Thought about the hand pass to Jenke, but then decides to go longer. Up towards the half-forward line. Waterman sneaks away from Gowers. Mainwaring slips on the logo, but keeps it in play to Lamb. High kick as he's decked. It'll be down the ground against Pritchard. And it could be costly because Sumich has picked up the football, but he's going to have to give it across to his teammate in Evans, who wastes no time from 50 metres, spirals it in towards full forward, but no one home. Gary Ayres takes a safe chest mark.
It was a waste of a kick, that.
Platt sneaks in front of his teammate Ray Jenke. They could have raffled that one. And now he finds Jenke with just the required distance. Scott Collins at centre wing, and he doesn't let him down. We'll head towards Taylor territory. Fisted away by McIntosh. Waiting down is Mainwaring. Quickly across to Matera. Another one back to Worsfold. He go wide to Turley. Out in the bright sunshine on the outer side of the ground. In towards Hines. Backing into the pack, he showed courage, but he hurt himself too. Collins. Ayres. Langford. Hines is still down. Chris Langford towards centre wing. McIntosh the flyer. Jarman away again. He's having a good game off to Pritchard. Deep into the Hawks attacking zone. At the back is Hart trying to tidy up. Just gets away. Off to Waterman. To the half-back line he goes, and Kemp takes the mark.
Kemp has the football at left half-back for the Eagles. The pass is effective. He finds Clappe nearly up to the wing. Clappe's kick. Wilson can't take the mark. Ayres is there. And he's bumped over by Peter Wilson. And takes the football with him. Boundary throw-in will take place out there at left half forward for the Eagles.
I just wonder if Chris Lewis is injured. He went off early in the first quarter, and we haven't sighted him in this game since.
Ayres somehow gets past. Hand pass, Matera, Condon. Lewis is preparing. We've just been told to come back onto the ground. Gerard Healy down there close to the action. Anderson, Morrissey, free kick, being held. And David Hart just shaking his head in disdain as Anderson has awarded the free kick. He kicks it inside 50 metres. Dunstall can't take the mark. He's got a chance. Morrissey steals it from him. Down goes White. McIntosh has the football underneath, but he gets it out. Kemp onto Hart. The Eagles out of trouble from half-back. David Hart touches it on the ground once and then kicks it straight to Scott McGuinness across half-back to Hawthorn.
As the changes are made, Lewis is back out onto the ground. Hines is off. We noticed he did get injured. Here's Ben Allen. He's caught by Lewis, who's just come onto the ground. And it's going to be a big moment for young Philip Merton soon, because he's warming up on the sidelines as we look again at that tackle. Merton is about to make his debut. Taylor wins it. Waterman could have been held. The ball finishes over the boundary line. He's only 18 years old, this boy. And he's only had 12 reserves games. It's a fair effort.
And he was one of my paper boys at the Box Hill South News Agency.
Is that right?
A bit of nostalgia, Sandy.
Oh, golly. Good luck to him.
And I've got a very keen interest in his future.
McDonald caught. Condon with very little room. Here he is. That'll do his confidence the world of good. No mark. Platten. Can he goal on his 150th? No, he can't. In fact, he puts it out of bounds.
He's a tireless worker, John Platten, always in there getting those scrubby kicks out of the packs, isn't he?
Hart. To the half-back line, Deere and Harding both fly. Socket off the ground by Turley. McDonald centres it to half-forward. Pritchard off to Jarman. Over the top he goes. Always looks dangerous. Anthony Condon heads for home with a long kick, and he's batted it. Now it was touched.
Well, Sandy, didn't look touched from here, did it?
No.
However, touched behind.
Now, we saw Hines leave the ground, the triple Port Adelaide Premiership player. Jared, what's his problem?
Well, unfortunately, a little bit like Chris Mew. He's taken a knock in the lower lumbar spine, just above the left buttock, Sandy, and getting referred pain in the leg. He, like Chris Mew, may return.
Jarman, a wonderful mark.
His handball earlier to Condon was magnificent, Sandy. He's a class player, Darren Jarman.
This is his 13th kick coming up. 7 hand passes, 3 marks. He's done well. To half forward. Who's going to be first to recover? Dunstan. Look at him. He's quick. Oh, he does it well. But Kemp. Dunstall in there again, gets it out. Kemp perhaps a little unlucky not to have got a free kick. Pritchard in over the top. Ball held. Matera asked the question. Harding there. Hart. Clappe. Matera. It's tight in the clinches. Back towards the centre. Jenke and Langdon. Well done by Jenke. Meant for Morrissey, but Pritchard gave him support. Platten. Still outside 50.
And Hawthorn still outnumbering the West Coast Eagles at the fall of the ball. 5 Hawthorn players then converged on that ball.
Great to watch. It's just sheer persistence as Platts goes for a long bomb. Yes! Gowers wanted the mark and it almost stuck. But not quite as White comes out of defence.
And White's kick was good. Found Dwayne Lamb on the 50-metre line. He elects to go long. Kicks it to the advantage of Turley. And Turley marks. Gets past Jarman. Slips the hand pass backwards a little bit to Langdon. Langdon's kick falls in short. Ayres. Well done, Gary Ayres. Too strong in the body. No way known that Peter Wilson is going to get past Gary Ayres there, and he marked safely. The kick lets himself down. He kicks it out of bounds on the full. And Gary Ayres wouldn't be too happy with that, I wouldn't think.
And Chris Lewis must have some sort of injury. He's come back onto the ground, but he's gone to the forward pocket and not gone onto the ball where he might be able to give the Eagles some extra bite.
Well, importantly for the Eagles, Hawthorn had kicked 4-6 in the first quarter down to this end, to which they're kicking now. And so far in this term, they've only managed to kick one behind. Harding tries to get it to Kemp. Evans is caught with the football. Terrific tackle by young Merton. Harding. Now through comes Collins, ducking and weaving. Finds some space for himself and kicks it out to the wing. High! What a mark! Mark of the day, Darren Jarman. Magnificent stuff. Short kick, equally as effective. Away goes McDonald. Hand pass to Jenke. The best passage of play so far in the game. And it finishes with Anderson on the 50-metre line. Well, can he kick the distance? This is the question now. Anderson goes long. And what's he done? He's kicked it behind. Terrific play here.
Let's have a look at the mark again, Robbo. Oh!
Well, it's a fantastic grab by Darren Jarman.
So the play goes on after that behind to Hawthorn, scoring very, very difficult in this third quarter. Hart on the outer side. Langdon in the middle. Drops it and one will swing back onto his left foot. No, he gets it across to Evans, back to Kemp. Turley trudges through that heavy spot on the outer side. Then chips, probably only 15 metres or so. Platten tries to lock it in, then looks for Morrissey. Lewis back on the ground, always dangerous even if he is slightly injured. He's bundled out of that contest. Condon close to the line. Plenty of pushing and shoving, and eventually the ball does go over.
And that was a poor kick selection then by Craig Turley coming down the field. He should have tried to kick the ball as long as he could into the forward line.
Collins over the top. Condon close to the line once again, and under pressure is forced out on the full.
Still a real battle, this game, and it's still anybody's game. Although the Eagles haven't looked particularly promising going forward, they're still very much in this game.
My word, they are. Sumich in front, Langford the effective spoiler. Lamb gets a hurried kick. This could be dangerous for Hawthorn. Which way will it bounce? Good for Chris Mainwaring if he can thread a passage through. Oh, great smother by Langford. And he's still going, Chris Langford. Gets it out. Mainwaring may get another shot at it. Lewis just on the ground. Pushed as he gets his kick and pushes it across the face of goal. For a goal!
The Hawks. Eagles just never giving in. And they still try to get the ball clear. Clappe, Lamb. Lamb's kick. Wide to the wing. McDonald there for Hawthorn. Tackled strongly by Langdon. Gets his kick away, but that's a good mark taken by Clappe at the back of a pack of 3 or 4 players. Turley can't mark. Jenke. Lamb. Platt. Little hand pass, good. McDonald gets the kick away. Clappe at half back, under pressure, close to the line, harassed by Condon. Condon tries to tap it into the path of Pritchard, does it well. Hand pass to Anderson. Hawks need a goal here. Anderson's kick, too high for Gowers. Wonderful pick up by Dunstall. 50 metres from goal. He goes for his 6th, but he misses off to the right. 5 goals, 2 to Jason Dunstall. In that scoreline for the Hawks, 6-9 to 6-4. The kick in finds Harding.
The big man goes from the half-back line towards centre wing. Mainwaring does well. Allen attempting to spoil, unable to. Turley in the middle. He can go deep into the forward line. His kick is a poor one. Between the Devil and the deep blue sea, but it'll favour Wilson into the open goal with the left foot. He wobbles it over the line, and the Eagles are back in town. Wilson gets his first, and the West Coast hit the front. 7-4 to 6-9.
There's Wilson dribbling that one through. Craig Turley, who was on the end of that pass once again to get the ball forward, has been a very good player for the Eagles in this quarter, and Jarman, who's supposed to be picking up, is going to have to play a lot tighter on Craig Turley.
Well, after a sizzling start by Hawthorn, the Eagles have pegged them back, and they lead by 1 point. Back in the middle again. Jarman got a boot to it, but that was all. Condon belts it towards the half-forward line. The Eagles have the runners. Matera will be first to it. On the outer wing. Goes to the half-forward line. This time a good mark taken by Allen in opposition to Evans.
Ooh, he was really going to take advantage there of Evans being on the ground.
And they've made the switch. Hawthorn. Allen's gone on to Evans, and Turley's now, Mainwaring is now being picked up by Collins.
McDonald goes back to Allen. To half-forward, Gowers just trying to punch it on, but according to the umpire, put one arm on the shoulder.
Mystifying.
Bit average, wasn't it?
McIntosh towards Langdon. Gave a decent old nudge. The ball will come back to Raymond Jenke.
Well, the free kicks are in favour of the West Coast, 19 to 13. But I really couldn't see an area to blame for the umpire. Merton's kick, too short for Berry. In comes Anderson, held, still got the football underneath, and Dominic Berry goes in after it as Craig Turley expresses a little bit of disgust there with Dean Anderson. And a boundary throw-in will take place. That's Robert Wiley in the background there, the West Coast Eagles runner, who was a very, very good player for Richmond in the VFL, as it was known then. Pritchard Kicks to the front of the goals. Dunstall. Oh, no, not quite. And he goes after Lamb. Tackle may result in a goal. No, in Worsfold. Well done, Johnny Worsfold. Is he going to be penalised? No. Sandy Roberts thought he may have been penalised.
So did Gary Ayres.
But the umpire has asked the boundary umpire to throw it in.
Yeah. And Dwayne Lamb being caught then going back onto his left foot, turning into the centre corridor rather than going to the boundary line, and almost causing a bit of trouble down there in the back line.
Eagles get out of trouble through David Hart. His kick is good, penetrating. 40 metres over the top of the players on centre wing. Harding ridden into the ground by Greg Deere. And one wonders what is deemed as a free kick. When you saw Sumich crunched by Jarman in the second quarter, Sumich got a free kick. Why didn't Paul Harding get one then from Greg Deere? Centre wing, players interchange area, boundary throw in. Harding in front. Beautiful, well done, down to Hart. Gets his kick away. Waterman drops it. Probably should have taken that. In goes Greg Deere. Underneath it is Anderson. Kemp's hand pass is productive. Clappe, Turley, tap on Pritchard, run down by Matera. Boy, is he quick. In goes Clappe again. Turley, hand pass, too fierce for Evans. Away go the Hawks. No, it's a free kick to Turley. Dump. Behind play. And Craig Turley just behind centre-half forward will kick the Eagles to within goal-scoring distance.
His kick is long, well inside 50. Langdon's in front. Couldn't quite complete the mark. Jenky tidies up to Ben Allen. Hawthorn have the numbers. Pritchard from the half-back line goes towards Gowes. Well fisted away from him by White. Pritchard, however, followed it down. Will go back towards Gowes again. Kicks up over centre wing. But it's a little too far for Dominic Berry.
I felt
over the line on the full.
I felt at half-time if the Eagles were to get back into this game, then they needed a lift from some of their on-ball players, and Craig Turley has provided that for them in this quarter.
They're certainly well back in it. They lead. Towards half-forward, Langdon tries to sweep it away. Allen working hard. Gets clear. Has a bit of time. Almost a half-forward. Gowes gets a shocking bounce. Mainwaring. Time to steady and just go into the centre and Harding. Morley with St Kilda. Gives it to Hart. Comes out to Evans. Down to the 50-metre line and Wilson.
Evans is showing a bit, Tim.
Yes, I've been impressed with him the times I've seen him play this year. He provides a lot of legs for the Eagles side.
Poor kick. Condon was able to tidy up, get the hand pass across to his teammate in McGuinness, who kicks wide to the flank where the ball goes over the line.
And as you said before, Sandy, that Gowes got a poor bounce. Well, I think the players should be starting to wake up to the fact that the ball is not running on, and they're running over the ball. They should realise now, at this stage of the game, into the third quarter, the ball is stopping in the mud.
Langdon doing the ruck work. Ball comes to the back. Turley dragged off it. Now a chance for Carl Langdon again. Playing quite a disciplined game. Merton underneath. Very difficult. McGuinness. Jenky over the top. Ben Allen. He kicks it in towards the dry centre of the Waverley ground. Gowes runs, dives, falls, drops the ball. Critical. Mitchell White. High kick. That was a poor kick. Hawthorn a chance here. Watch this pick up by Jarman. No. Kicks it to his own advantage, kicked it too far. He may have perhaps tried to pick it up, Tim.
Yes, I thought he should have tried to pick the ball up on that occasion, and they had the numbers. If he hadn't got the ball, they would have been well on their way to the forward line.
Throw in on the outer side. McIntosh shoved out of it. Kick forward by Berry. Dunstall. Is that in the back? No. Platt does the scouting. Close to the boundary line. He rips it round his body. In towards full forward. Danger here for the Eagles. The Hawk forwards pounce upon it. Lamb and Kemp. Platten. A short kick. But perfect for Anthony Condon.
See, there were two terrific Hawthorn workers in there. Platten and Dunstall.
You have to admire Johnny Platten, don't you?
So that was a goer.
It was just a go, but it was a grubby little kick, but he's always pushing the ball forward.
Just to regain the lead. He's got it. 51 plays 46 in a tight one here at Waverley Park.
Well, the players obviously very, very aware that the 4 points is going to be extremely valuable to either side. Langdon, terrific hand pass to Harding. Harding's kicked the centre half forward, and leading and marking on his chest is Sumic. 50 metres from goal, he would have to be a chance to score from here. And Morrissey with a keen eye on Lewis.
Well, the other interesting move this quarter is that Gary Ayres has gone to the forward pocket for Hawthorn, has remained there, and perhaps he is another injured player out there on the ground.
Sumic, opportunity to kick his 4th goal and wrest the lead away from the Hawks once again. Kicker's got plenty of length, and he's kicked a goal. Great kick. 4 goals for Sumic, 4 goals straight, as a matter of fact. And the West Coast lead 8-4 to 7-9, so they're a point in front once again.
This game is shaping up as a great last quarter. And Peter Sumic, that's a wonderful kick from out there. He's outside 50 metres. The ball's travelled about 65 metres. And the area where he did kick the ball is particularly wet, so he wasn't able to get a strong footing. But that is a wonderful kick from that range.
So the ball back in the centre. There's the scoreboard indicating the West Coast leading by just 1 point. Deer held there by Dwayne Lamb, and the umpire will be forced to call it up once again. We've got just under 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Deer high. Harding gets the tap out. Evans leaves it behind. Platten in after it. Condon is there for Hawthorn, but umpire Harris calls for a bounce.
The Eagles have lifted their work rate in this quarter. They've been more prepared to get in and get that hard ball, and I think that you know, they've got the players over the ground that might be able to just hang on in this game.
Jarman off the ground. A long kick, considering he socketed it. Hart tidies up across half back. Clappe. White. The Eagles into attack. Just over 2 minutes remaining. And Peter Wilson will have to hand that one over.
David Hart has been good for the Eagles since coming on the ground. He's had 16 posies, Sandy.
He's done well. Scott McGuinness from the defensive side of centre. And that's a strong mark. Gowes off to McDonald. Into the half-forward line. Dunstall again picks it up beautifully. He's on a very tight angle. Pulls it back around his body. Platten is beaten for it by Matera. Off to Mainwaring, who clears to the outer side. Jarman a chance. Shrugs the tackle. Has a look up forward. Decides to go long. It bounces to full forward. Brennan. His hand pass wanted Matera or the boundary line. It is kept in play, however, simply by soccer tactics. Kemp is the last one to hit it. Clappe, Turley under pressure. Bang! Collins has got him. Ball spills free. Kemp soccers it cleverly away. The Eagles now, like Hawthorn did in the first half, persisting with everything they do. Wilson to half forward. Evans takes the mark. It's inside a minute to go. Sumic on the lead. Can't pick it up on the half volley. Lewis out of bounds, was he? One behind. Very close again to running over, to taking the ball out. But it's 8-5 to 7-9. 2 points the margin. And just 37 seconds remaining. So it's all set for a big last quarter as Langford brings it back into play. Wants his ruckman. Can't quite find him. Clappe, did he throw it?
It's got to be a throw.
Yes, we've seen a few of those in recent weeks, haven't we?
Yes, it's impossible to handball the ball over your head that way without throwing.
Allen towards centre wing. And almost the mark to Waterman. Pritchard stays with pressure. Eventually it is taken over the line, and Sumic just letting his feelings be known. On the siren to Scotty McGuinness. So at three-quarter time, the Eagles lead by 2 points. 8-5, plays 7-9. Here at Waverley Park, and since quarter time, the Eagles have outscored the Hawks. Anybody's game as we go into the final quarter here at Waverley Park. Just 2 points, and it favours the Eagles. Platten, game number 150. He'd love it to be a memorable one as far as premiership points are concerned. McDonald in over the top. Look at them. That's the way it's been all day. Desperation plus from both sides.
Really the luck of the draw now with just a kick in it. You know, it can be a fluke kick that scores a goal for either side.
One wonders what may have transpired had Hawthorn been accurate early on in the game. But that's all water under the bridge as Kemp gets a hurried kick through heavy traffic towards centre wing. It's a new ball. Wilson. Turley. Flicking it high. Langdon charges at it and almost gets it on the half volley. Platten runs into it. Evans gives it away to Lamb. Off to Wilson. This could be dangerous. Peter Wilson, 50 metres out. Heads for home, but drifts it away to the left and through for one behind. As the injured Chris Lewis picks himself up. 3 points. Now the margin.
It was a wonderful tap then by Peter Matera out, creating a bit of play for the Eagles. This is going to be a very gripping last quarter.
Well, Langford kicks it fairly well straight up the ground. Turley can't mark, but he's got the football. Jarman the tackler. Mainwaring bumped off the football by Collins. A desperate struggle for possession. Langdon has the football, but the tackling of Hawthorn enclosing him, and the umpire will ball it up.
Probably too critical of Craig Tilley, but I felt that he should have thumped the ball then rather than going for that mark.
A punch away, comes to Matera. He gets his kick away, up towards the forward pocket region. Langford, little tap away from Sumic. Still both players after the football desperately. Evans over the top, Ben Allen. But the umpire calls for a boundary throw in 50 metres from the Eagles' goal. The Eagles lead 8-6 to 7-9 in the early part of this last quarter. And it's going to be a guts-it-out effort here in this last quarter. Condon, handball over the top. Laidley, Merton the tackler. Lamb, Platten. In goes Laidley. An air shot. Kemp effectively. Langdon, kick smothered. Here's a chance now for McGuinness. Back he goes to Ben Allen. Ben Allen's kick fortuitously finishes with Pritchard. Awaited here. The Hawks on the run. Jarman's handball magnificent. Taylor, look at Pritchard. He's covered 60 metres already. The kick into the pocket. Dunstall. Anderson off the ground. Where will this finish? With Waterman punched away by Gowers. Eagles defence under pressure. Hart airs. Ball goes over. Boundary throw-in will take place. When the Hawks looked rather dangerous.
Eagles standing up well under pressure then.
Gee, it's a nice introduction for Dominic Berry and Philip Merton, isn't it, Robbo?
My word, you know all about it in tight games and low scoring, good tackling. Here goes Matera from half back for the Eagles. He will clear confidently, bounces it on the ground. Came back to him, he kicks it wide. Centre wing, the race on here. McGuinness and Wilson. McGuinness kicks it twice to his own advantage, looks for a free kick. Jumper being held by Wilson indicates Scott McGuinness. Umpire Shane Harris having nothing of that. Throw it in, please. Boundary umpire Owen.
And he does. Kemp swinging it round towards the left half-forward flank. Andy Collins is there. Keeps it in play momentarily. Gains probably 7 or 8 metres.
Kemp's also had a very good game. Almost 20 possessions. And he's been one of the real stars in the AFL this season.
Yes, he's had a wonderful year. From the throw-in. Lamb hooks it round his body. Taken by Jenke. Hurried kick. Difficult one for Pritchard, who showed great courage. Clappe. High ball over centre wing. And another good mark, this time taken by Wilson. Over the top he goes to Kemp. Yet another possession, and it's a good one. Sumic in the pocket. Player down behind play with what appears to be an ankle. That's Clappe. But at the moment the action's with Peter Sumic. He's kicked 4 goals, and that's how Clappe incurred that injury. And a perfect record today for Peter Sumich. Can he maintain that? If he can, he's going to put the Eagles in the box seat from 50 metres. Good looking kick in towards goal. Well, he's got it. Post or not. Jarman and co still think so. It's not stopping the Eagles as Matera sends them down towards Sumich again. He's got the perfect record of 5 goals for the game. This time he's slung over the line and he's been pinged for holding the ball.
Well, it has been 20 free kicks to 15, and I think the Hawthorn supporters are just airing their opinion of the umpiring decisions, but sometimes, you know, if the players are tackling fiercely, well, the free kicks are certainly there. Pritchard, Merton and Condon combined to get the ball to half forward for the Hawks, but a good mark taken by White, and I'm very impressed with this young man. He's kicking towards the centre, just a little too high for Laidley. Platt, away he goes to Merton. Merton's hand pass, rather ordinary. Tackle on Laidley, not bad. Platten goes in after the football. Lamb with strength over the top there with Greg Deere, and the umpire will call for a ball up.
I don't think the umpiring's had any effect on this game today. There hasn't been that many free kicks, has there, that they've been in question?
Well, I think you're right there. The kick by Condon towards half forward. Good mark taken by Anderson. Hawks need to get a bit of urgency into their game, or they could drop this quite easily. Anderson, kick towards full forward. Gowers punched away. Out towards half forward. Pritchard runs onto it. Short passes on. Morrissey on his own runs into an open goal. He doesn't usually miss these, and he's kicked it straight through for a behind.
Good shepherding by McDonald on that occasion, but to no avail.
60 plays 52. Eagles by 8 points.
I was thinking just before whether or not the Hawthorn people, or the Brains Trust, would put Morrissey down on the boards. A very creative player who can make something out of nothing, and he was stuck down there in the back pocket on Chris Lewis.
Waterman to Kemp.
This guy's a good player.
15th kick. He's had 9 hand passes. Really done the job. Langdon.
And Langdon's worked hard all day, hasn't he? He hasn't had a million possessions, but he just runs up and back.
The Eagles have it over centre wing once again. Lamb, claimed by Platten. Not before he gets a short kick away. Platten persists. So does Lamb and Wilson. Evans in there strongly. That has typified this game today. Not pretty, but uncompromising. And if it dropped 20 cents down there, Robbo, I think we can think twice about picking it up. Some of
Why
those
don't you
packs.
make it worthwhile? Why wouldn't you put 50 bucks down there?
Trust you to say that.
You wouldn't find 20 cents on that.
True.
Andy.
Quite true. Throw it on the outer side. 8 points the margin. Taylor and Langdon. Merton over the top. Collins close to the boundary line. And a fine mark taken by Harding. To the running White. Platten almost intercepts. Morrissey can get it away. He does to Jarman. Darren Jarman for kick number 17. Down towards the 50-metre line. Little toe poke by Gowers. Another one by Hart. And it's going to work in the Eagles' favour. They've taken it from half-back towards centre wing and Craig Turley. Clappe's kick was wide. Turley now under pressure. Evans comes in to help. Turley recovers. Through the slog, he picks it up. Kicks to half forward. Merton. Was he held? The umpire said no. Hawthorn fans not happy. They're roaring. Morrissey is eventually away. Giving it to Deere. It's on behind play, but it's only a minor wrestle. Dunstall. Stopped and propped. McIntosh with him. Hart gets away from Anderson. On the outer side is Laidley, and he's got hectares. Elects a little chip over the top. Chris Mainwaring. Long and direct. Straight down towards Sumich. He recovers well. Jenke is desperate. That's been socked through.
Lewis, I think.
No, it's going to come back. It's going to be a free kick against Sumich, I fear, for in the back.
Would you be game enough to give a free kick for kicking in danger there against Lewis?
I wouldn't think so.
Langford keeps it in play. And now the Hawks' turn, Robbo.
McGuinness attempting to draw a player. Now he kicks it in the Gowers direction. Good gather. Away he goes to Morrissey. Morrissey's kick. Looks for Dunstall. What a great mark. Gee, made that pass perfect, Jason Dunstall, diving on the 50-metre line and marking on his chest. There he is, back in the goal square. Hawks badly need this goal. We're halfway through the term. Dunstall, high kick into the square. Marking contest. No one can take it. Ayres dives on it, but away goes Hart. And Hart for the Eagles kicks it outside 50 metres, and it bounces in favour of the Eagles, not in favour of young Philip Merton, and goes over for a boundary throw in about 55 to 60 metres out from the Hawks' goal. 7-10, 9-6. Difference 8 points in favour of West Coast. Harding, Big Hart, Kemp, Morrissey, McDonald kicked away. And no free kick. Merton, the tackler, on Laidley. And the ball will be thrown in the air about 60 metres from the Hawthorn goal. Things getting pretty desperate for the Hawks. The Eagles have done very well since quarter time. Little kick off the ground. Goes back towards the Eagles' favour. Turley, Laidley, Merton hanging on. Laidley still with the football. Merton scrums it pretty well and kicks it about 30 metres towards his side's goal, but another boundary throw will take place. So precious seconds ticking away for the Eagles. We're gone down under 14 minutes. They lead by 8 points, and in a game where only 16 goals have kicked, that is a handy lead at the moment.
Yes, we've had only 1 goal for the quarter. That exemplifies just how tight it is. Johnny Platten saying to himself, is this how we celebrate 150 games? Not over yet. Long way to go. Clapper to centre wing. Mainwaring a chance. Sneaks away and floats a kick towards the 50-metre line. The race is on and Evans leads it. Showing plenty of dash. Now here's an opportunity because he gets it across to Turley, who'll run into the open goal and put it through for the West Coast Eagles.
10-6 to 7-10. Under 13 minutes left. Bounce favours Deer. Jarman, little kick. Wide to half forward. Waterman leads Morrissey. Helped out by Matera, but Waterman after it again. A little tap on. Laidley. Well done, Matera. Short kick. Mainwaring and Collins. Against Collins, was it? And it'll go to Mainwaring. About 2.5 kicks from the Eagles' goal. Well, they're doing it pretty well, the West Coast. Look at this man, 18 kicks and 7 hand passes, 8 marks. A lot of criticism about the fact that he just bombs away with his kicks, but by gee, he's had it 25 times, which means the opposition haven't been able to get possession of it. Kemp, little kick off the ground. Condon, Ben Allen. They'll have to take some risks now, the Hawks. It could come undone. It does. David Hart, who's been a terrific player since coming on the ground, I think in the first term, coming up for his 20th possession.
That was an ambitious kick then by Allen. If you're going to be pinpointing passes in the back line, then you really do have to make sure of them.
Alan Joyce on the phone down to the runner. No doubt the message will go to Ben Allen as David Hart prepares to put the West Coast further in front. What a brilliant kick, straight through the centre.
Outback, people's...
Just on 11 minutes remaining. And the Hawks come back. And the Eagles defend. Merton onto the left foot. Out in front of Gowers and White. White does well. Still going. Now Waterman comes in to help. Kemp back to Waterman. A sluggish start by the Eagles. But the second half has been Very, very strong. Langdon on centre wing. Penetrating kick. And you to see Andy Collins hold up that attack. The Hawks need something special. Langford runs off. Floats one towards Gowes, who's going to be outnumbered. Clappe showed courage. Pritchard shows the ball and gets a kick towards Anderson, who plods through the mud. He's inside 50. Centering kick. Where's Dunstall? Got a hand to it. Now he can snap a goal. He's got another one. So the Hawks come back. Dunstall has kicked his 6th. It's Hawthorn's 8. 8-10 plays 11-6.
He's a wonderful player, Jason Dunstall. And really, he's been starved of opportunities in this second half. The ball hasn't been down there that many times. And when it has, when he's won out, when he gets a run at the ball, he's almost too difficult to stop Jason Dunstall.
Actually, Tim, you said earlier about kicking the ball to the front of the square. That was what Anderson did. The punch away did go down to the advantage of Dunstall, and a goal resulted. So maybe there should be a little bit more of that by all teams. Harding taps it wide. Wilson, kick off the ground. McGuinness, Lewis falls over. Eagles one man down. There's a bit of a dust up behind play. It's against McGuinness, and the free kick will go to Lewis. Well, the umpire wasn't very far from the action, so there's not too much that the Hawk fans can complain about there, I wouldn't think. Lewis has the football for the Eagles. His kick goes in towards Sumich, and what a good mark. What an excellent mark taken by Peter Sumich. 5 goals from 5 kicks. Can he make it? 6 from 6. Chris Langford, the worried Hawthorn fullback. Well, I wouldn't think he'd have too many problems with the distance. He's going to be kicking from about 40, maybe a little closer. Not a bad kick. Just hooked it a little bit, and it's his first blemish on the scoreboard.
I wonder if this stage of the game, Hawthorn might not consider putting Chris Langford into the forward line. They've broken down a lot across half forward. Langford went there last week and kicked 3 goals, and I'm sure he'd give the Hawks a bit more in attack if he was to go down there.
Went for the torpedo punt kick, didn't come off, and the wobbly punt drops in short. Lewis marks well within scoring distance. Chris Lewis has had a dirty day by his standards anyway. Only his 6th possession coming up. Short kick. Mark taken by Laidley. No closer. Maybe even further away.
It's hard to get possessions on the bench.
Well, that's true. But I think he was dragged off the ground, wasn't he, for a
well, he doesn't look
pretty
injured.
tardy first quarter.
Yes, and he doesn't look injured at this stage.
Laidley from 50 metres. His kick is being marked right on the goal line by Langford. Langford goes pretty well straight up the ground.
Looking for Deer. Mainwaring tackled high. No whistle. McGuinness under pressure. The umpire comes in and decides he'll take charge.
That was surely around the neck there.
Yeah. Dennis Rich and Shane Harris. Shane Harris, a crowd of 26,346 here for this grand final replay. Langdon held on for a long time. Evans tucked tightly in the pocket, gives it to Wilson. Snap in towards goal and pushed defensively over for one behind. So with just on 7 minutes remaining, the Eagles have a comfortable little buffer at this stage. Jarman almost. Pritchard off hands. The Hawks want the next one smartly. Gowes goes to ground. White keeps going. On centre wing and over the line. But the Hawthorn fans feel they may have got a raw deal today, Tim.
No, well, they probably do, but I don't think they have. And what I was about to say was that Craig Tilley, not only has he been a good player in this second half for his team, he's also taken Darren Jarman out of the game. And Jarman's had a very quiet second half.
Throw in again. Langdon swatting at it in front. Matera and McDonald.
Well, if Hawthorn have only been able to kick 8 goals up into this stage, and they need 3 goals to win the game, we've got 6 minutes left. It would be a big ask. Wouldn't get my hard-earned on them, Sandy.
I know all about your hard-earned, Robbo. Morrissey, cleverly to Jarman. Equally as well done to Allen. Clever kick. But the mark not held. I think the push may be paid. Well, it's not out of the question.
Is he too far out to kick a goal from there?
Well, he'll need to kick this one. Let's see what he can do. Going to struggle with the distance. Oh! Fine attempt to mark. It's not paid. Kemp also can't mark. Lamb and Platt at it, hammer and tongs. Kemp across to Lamb is well done. The Eagles out of trouble. Towards centre wing. Langdon pushing away from Taylor, who slides over the line.
Kemp just seems to get better and better every time I see him play. And Langdon on screen there at the moment, I think he's been a wonderful contributor today. He's probably been their only player that
What does he do?
We've got a few moments if you want to think about it, Tim.
Very competitive in the first half.
Laidley's kick, not marked by Lewis, taken away by Jenke. Jenke's short kick close to the boundary line, looking for Taylor. Into help is McDonald, and Langdon takes it over.
Gee, they're tired. Look at that. That picture tells the story.
Yes, he's been very competitive today, Carl.
Well, Kemp, you mentioned earlier, had something like 16 kicks and 11 hand passes. He's been very, very good. It's now inside 50 metres again for the Eagles. Evans leaves it behind. Hart, good tackle on Condon. Condon in an uncustomary role for him, playing in defence. Looks a little out of sorts. Boundary throw in about 45, maybe a little closer, 40 metres from the Eagles' goal. They lead 11-8 to 8-10. They lost a close one last week, but I think they'll probably get away with this one. Mainwaring's hand pass goes through to McGuinness. McGuinness's kick up towards the wing. Deere and Harding. Well done, Paul Harding. Close to the line. It's over now. And a boundary throw-in will take place on centre wing as Dominic Berry prepares to come back onto the ground for the Hawks. The play just forward of centre wing for the Eagles. Harding, Turley, now Hart, who kicks the ball very, very well. Gets it about 40 metres towards his team's goal. McGuinness goes back. Collins, oh, what a bump. A terrific bump by Mainwaring. Platten's got the football. Kicks it in towards the centre of the ground. Waterman can't mark. Little kick by Anderson. Taken by Laidley. Morrissey skillfully. Hand pass. Into the path of Anderson. In turn to Merton. Merton's kick up towards the 50-metre line. Ben Allen has got to do something with this. He's dragged to the ground by Clappe. And Ben Allen will take the free kick about 55 to 60 metres from the Hawthorn goal.
Plays on. Still 60 out. Now centering kick. They need a mark. McDonald couldn't take it. Dunstall lurks. Jarman a snap. One behind. Dominic Berry back on the ground and in the thick of things as well. 15 points the margin. And have a look at this Andy Collins bump once again. But he was like a piece of rubber. He was straight up.
Actually, it was Evans that played that bump on.
Hart has had a very good game since coming onto the ground. Jarman paddles it backwards to try and accommodate Anderson. Took one of the season's best marks earlier in the day, Darren Jarman. As Deere goes over the back, Allen across to Platten. Johnny Platten having his 17th kick to the 50-metre line, but there's his immediate opponent in Lamb, who almost threw it out to accommodate White. Soccer's off the ground, heading for the outer wing, heading for the spaces. Evans. Very elusive. Kick is short. Laidley throws it out. Condon takes the free kick. Under 2 minutes remaining. McDonald through. Still going. Soccer's to Platt. Back again to Pritchard. Stabs to half forward. Inside 50. And the mark taken for Hawthorn by Dominic Berry. A minute and a half remaining. Berry kicking from 50 metres will struggle with the distance. Floating into the square. Morrissey is there. He's still there. Now, he'll have to get it off to Allen. Allen snaps at goal and has hit the post.
1-3 to Ben Allen.
Well, it was a classical example of what a lot of people think is around the neck, but Morrissey ducked that on that occasion. A lot of players do duck when they're approached by a player. Thus their attack around the neck.
Have a guess. John Worsfold in the action, and the umpire has spotted a free kick, an infringement against Berry, and Worsfold will take it for the West Coast about 30 metres closer to his goal than where the kick-in would have been taken. So Worsfold now just holding it up a little bit. Seconds disappearing. The kick goes wide. Jarman beaten for it by Kemp. Now Turley. Little kick. Jarman. Gather is good. Kick is high and blind. And the mark was taken back there by Waterman, who has done a pretty good job in the defence for West Coast this afternoon. Coming up for possession number 20.
He's been a very good player all day.
Kicks it high, out towards the wing. Turley can't mark. Gowers harassed out of it. Mainwaring on the bottom. And another boundary throw-in will take place. Well, maybe the siren will sound before the throw in. There it is. The siren sounds. It is a win to the West Coast side. They kicked 11-8-74 and they defeated Hawthorn 8-12-60. The West Coast win the game by 14 points, and deservedly so. They were very, very well served by a number of players. Dean Kemp, Turley, Mainwaring was a good player. Matera was a good player. And on the other hand, Hawthorn probably left too much to too few. Sumic just running off the ground there, kicked 5 goals. And Tim, well, they're certainly back on track to West Coast.
It was a very courageous victory here today. They played poorly in the first half. They came home with a wet sail and they found a lot of good players in that second half. And I think Mick Malthouse would be very happy with the way his players persisted today.
Well, they were in the final, or in the 6 before this on match ratio, but that victory gives them a points advantage as well. And they look pretty pleased with themselves. You mentioned in the first quarter they were only able to kick 1 goal, and Hawthorn had kicked 4-6. But after quarter time, they really took it up to the Hawks, and I think they'll go back to Perth a very, very happy side tonight. And Mick Malthouse, we saw him at quarter time. He was a little concerned, but I think he'll be pretty pleased as well. So the final score here at Waverley saw the West Coast win the game by 14 points. West Coast 11-8, Hawthorn 8-12.